Many people wander through life speaking words that unknowingly shape their reality. When a person says, "I need money," they are not simply expressing a desire. They are issuing a command to the universe. Words are not idle sounds. They are powerful instruments of creation. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that every word we speak plants a seed, and like any seed, it grows into form. If you constantly affirm lack and limitation, the universe responds accordingly. The phrase "I need money" carries with it vibration of insufficiency, fear, and dependency. It tells the world that abundance is scarce, that you are powerless to create it, and that you are waiting outside of the natural flow of divine supply. This is why many people, despite their hard work and intentions, feel trapped in cycles of scarcity. The universe cannot give abundance to someone who continually affirms poverty. Instead, the conscious individual chooses words that declare wealth, security, and prosperity. By replacing "I need money" with a statement such as "I am receiving money in perfect ways," a person begins to realign their consciousness with the infinite supply already available to them. Words, when spoken with faith and clarity, act like magnets drawing circumstances into harmony with the spoken declaration. It is not enough to merely hope for financial ease. One must speak it, visualize it, and act in alignment with it. This is not magical thinking. It is the practical law of cause and effect applied to the spiritual and mental plane. Shinn emphasized that our words are creative forces, and the world responds not to what we wish, but to what we affirm. Saying "I need money" is like planting seeds in barren soil. It produces struggle, anxiety, and disappointment. Conversely, affirming abundance, even before it appears, cultivates fertile ground for manifestation. This principle extends beyond money. It applies to health, relationships, and every aspect of life. Conscious speech demands awareness and responsibility. Each word must be chosen as though it were a wand casting spells. By carefully selecting language that reflects wealth, gratitude, and confidence, a person actively participates in shaping their reality. It is a practice of mindfulness, faith, and deliberate intention. People who master this understand that the universe is a mirror reflecting the vibration of their words. When you cease declaring lack and begin declaring abundance, doors open, opportunities present themselves, and the flow of prosperity becomes natural. The change begins internally with the simple yet profound act of speaking with consciousness, knowing that each word has power and each declaration sets the stage for the life you are meant to live. By shifting your words, you shift your world, and the invisible becomes visible. Many people spend their lives focused on what they do not have, believing that by worrying or thinking about lack, they can somehow force it into their lives. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that this is the opposite of how the universe works. The mind and heart are magnets, and they attract experiences that match the thoughts and words they hold. When a person dwells on poverty, scarcity, or limitation, they are continually sending signals that reinforce those very conditions. This is why so many struggle financially or emotionally despite hard work. They are focused on the absence of what they desire rather than the presence of what is possible. The conscious individual learns to shift their attention from lack to abundance. Instead of dwelling on fear or need, they cultivate a vision of prosperity, joy, and success. By focusing on what they want, they align themselves with the infinite supply that is always available. Visualization is a powerful tool in this process. Shinn often instructed her followers to picture themselves already living in the fulfillment of their desires. See the house you wish to inhabit. Feel the security of financial freedom. Hear the conversations of success surrounding you. By immersing yourself in the feeling of having what you want, you raise your vibration and attract circumstances that match that energy. Words reinforce thought. Every declaration must reflect your focus on abundance rather than lack. Saying "I am prosperous" or "I have all that I need" creates a mental and spiritual environment in which abundance can manifest. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending problems do not exist. It is about consciously choosing which frequency to broadcast to the universe. Fear and worry attract more of the same, while hope, faith, and positive expectation open doors to solutions and opportunities. Gratitude is another vital element. By acknowledging and appreciating what is already present, even in small ways, you amplify the feeling of abundance within yourself. This creates momentum that carries forward into every aspect of life. People who master this principle notice a remarkable shift. Opportunities appear, ideas flow, and resources arrive in ways that feel effortless. The law is simple. The universe reflects your inner focus. What you choose to dwell upon grows and manifests in your life. Therefore, your attention is sacred. Direct it toward the outcomes you desire. Imagine them vividly. Speak them confidently, and feel the reality as if it is already yours. By keeping the mind fixed upon what you want rather than what you lack, you become a co-creator of your life rather than a passive observer. This practice transforms not only financial circumstances, but relationships, health, and personal happiness. It is a lifelong discipline of awareness, faith, and deliberate intention, showing that what you focus on, your mind and heart bring into form. Faith is the invisible force that moves mountains, yet many people misunderstand its true power. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that faith is not merely hope or wishful thinking. It is a firm and unwavering expectation that the good you desire is already present in the unseen. When it comes to wealth, success, or abundance, faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Without faith, words and actions are like seeds scattered on barren ground. They produce little or no fruit. Many speak of wanting prosperity, yet their thoughts are laced with doubt. I hope this works, or I don't know if I can, undermines the very law they wish to invoke. Faith, on the other hand, carries certainty. It is the confident declaration that the universe has already provided, that supply is infinite, and that your words and actions are now merely the alignment with what has been spiritually ordained. Shinn emphasized that the universe never refuses what the mind fully accepts. When you hold faith, you see invisible provision as real, and this certainty attracts circumstances that match your belief. Faith is expressed not only in thought, but in words and deeds. Speaking affirmations of abundance, acting upon inspired ideas, and moving forward without hesitation all demonstrate faith in motion. It is a refusal to give attention to fear, worry, or lack. The mind, trained in faith, focuses exclusively on the desired outcome and trusts the divine timing of its manifestation. Many fail to receive because they entertain doubt, worry, or impatience. Faith requires persistence and consistency. It is a daily practice of choosing to believe in what is not yet seen, trusting that it is already accomplished on the spiritual plane. When financial provision or success seems delayed, the person of faith does not falter but continues to declare, visualize, and act in harmony with their goal. This unwavering trust creates a magnetic force that draws opportunities, resources, and assistance. Shinn taught that faith is the creative power behind every miracle. It is the key that unlocks doors that logic and effort alone cannot open. Without faith, no amount of desire or planning will yield lasting results. Faith aligns the conscious mind with the infinite intelligence that governs all supply. It quiets the fears of the ego and allows the individual to move confidently, knowing that every step is supported. The individual who embodies faith does not argue with circumstances or complain about scarcity. They recognize that what is real is already theirs in the unseen. Their words, thoughts, and actions reflect the certainty of their belief. Faith transforms waiting into preparation, doubt into expectation, and limitation into opportunity. The universe responds to this vibration with perfect timing, arranging people, ideas, and events to fulfill the unseen provision. By cultivating unwavering faith, one opens the door to limitless wealth, health, and joy, demonstrating that the Invisible is always ready to become visible, and that certainty of belief is the cornerstone of all abundance. Action inspired by faith is the essential complement to thought and word. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the universe responds not only to your affirmations and visualizations, but also to the steps you take when guided by intuition and divine inspiration. Many people desire abundance, yet they remain passive, waiting for circumstances to change or for opportunities to appear. They speak affirmations and hold positive thoughts, but they fail to act when the moment for action arises. Faith without action is like a lamp that is never lit. Its potential is wasted. Action inspired by faith is different from impulsive or hurried activity. It is deliberate, purposeful, and guided by inner guidance. The universe speaks through intuition, ideas, and sudden impulses. These are often small nudges, gentle inclinations that point toward the next step in the flow of abundance. The individual who is aligned with divine supply recognizes these signals and responds promptly, confidently, and without hesitation. By following inspired action, you become a co-creator with the infinite intelligence, cooperating with the unseen forces that arrange circumstances in your favor. Delay or hesitation often stems from fear, doubt, or overthinking. Shinn emphasized that these mental barriers block the flow of opportunity. The person who acts in faith, however, moves forward with trust, knowing that every necessary resource, connection, and circumstance will appear as needed. This is why those who are spiritually aligned often report experiences that seem miraculous. Money comes unexpectedly, opportunities arise without effort, and people appear to assist in perfect timing. These events are not mere coincidence. They are the natural result of acting when inspired. Action without faith, on the other hand, is blind and often futile. It lacks the magnetic pull of divine support and may produce temporary results at best. Action inspired by faith carries the invisible power of certainty, magnetizing all that is required. It transforms thoughts and words into tangible outcomes. Shinn often reminded her readers that the flow of abundance is never interrupted when one moves with faith. Small steps, consistently taken, compound into extraordinary results. The key is to remain alert to intuitive guidance and willing to act immediately. Even when the path seems unclear, the person of faith trusts that each step will lead to further clarity and provision. By embracing inspired action, you shift from being a passive observer of life to an active participant in creation. Every opportunity, every idea, every impulse becomes a channel through which abundance flows. This principle applies not only to financial prosperity, but to all areas of life: relationships, health, creativity, and spiritual growth. Action inspired by faith is the bridge that transforms invisible intention into visible reality. It harmonizes your inner convictions with external circumstances, ensuring that what you envision, affirm, and believe manifests fully. When you act in faith, every step is supported, every effort multiplied, and every door opened by forces beyond the visible world, demonstrating that the universe conspires in favor of those who move courageously, guided by divine insight and unwavering trust in the provision that is already theirs. Your words carry immense creative power, far beyond what most people realize. Florence Scovel Shinn emphasized that each word we speak is like a wand, casting invisible forces into motion that shape our experiences. Many people talk casually about their fears, limitations, and lack, not realizing that, in doing so, they are commanding more of the very conditions they wish to avoid. When you say, "I can't afford this," or "I'll never succeed," you are planting seeds of struggle, doubt, and failure. Conversely, when you choose words of affirmation, gratitude, and confidence, you magnetize opportunities, wealth, and success. Words are the tools through which thought becomes form, and they must be selected with awareness and intention. Shinn taught that the universe does not judge your words morally. It responds only to the vibration behind them. Fear-laden words attract fear. Faith-filled words attract supply. This is why repeating affirmations of abundance, health, or happiness is so effective. It signals to the invisible realm that you are prepared to receive. The conscious individual treats every statement as a declaration of their inner state. By consistently speaking words of prosperity, one gradually rewires thought patterns, dissolves limiting beliefs, and establishes alignment with infinite supply. It is not enough to think positively. Thoughts must be expressed, because spoken words have a tangible effect on the subconscious mind and the surrounding environment. Gratitude is a powerful companion to affirmative speech. When you speak appreciation for what is already present, you amplify your vibrational match to abundance. Simple statements such as "I am grateful for the wealth flowing into my life," or "I see good everywhere, and it comes to me," create momentum that draws circumstances into harmony with those declarations. Silence, too, is significant. Avoid negative chatter, complaints, or worry-laden conversations, for these too act as commands that reinforce limitation. Shinn's teachings show that careful, conscious speech, combined with visualization and faith, is a master key to unlocking prosperity. Words shape character, circumstances, and destiny. A person who wields them wisely consciously chooses language that empowers, uplifts, and magnetizes. Daily practice of affirmations, visualization, and mindful speech gradually transforms both internal consciousness and external conditions. Life begins to reflect the abundance, success, and joy expressed consistently through words. This principle is universal and applies in all realms: health, relationships, career, and personal growth. By recognizing the creative potential of language and aligning it with faith and purpose, one steps into mastery of life itself. Words become tools, not idle sounds, shaping reality in alignment with divine law, demonstrating that what you consistently say and believe determines the quality and richness of your experience, turning thought into tangible manifestation and opening the door to endless possibility. Visualization and daily affirmation are the keys to aligning yourself with the infinite supply of the universe. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. It responds to the images and feelings held within it. When you see yourself as prosperous, healthy, and joyful, you are planting seeds in the invisible realm that will inevitably manifest in form. Many people focus on problems, shortages, or unfulfilled desires, and they wonder why their lives reflect struggle. The reason is simple: the mind follows the dominant mental picture. By dwelling upon scarcity or worry, you are repeatedly sending out signals that attract more lack. The practice of daily visualization reverses this pattern. Each day, set aside time to clearly imagine the life you wish to live. Picture the abundance flowing to you, the success you are achieving, the happiness surrounding you, and the opportunities appearing in perfect timing. Make these images as vivid as possible. See the details, feel the emotions, and hear the sounds of your ideal life. The more real these visions feel, the more power they carry. Alongside visualization, affirmations are equally vital. Words spoken with conviction reinforce the mental pictures and imprint them upon the subconscious mind. Simple statements like "I am abundant," "money flows to me easily," or "I am surrounded" by opportunities act as declarations that align thought, feeling, and word. Repeating these affirmations daily strengthens faith and dissolves doubt. Gratitude enhances this practice by acknowledging and appreciating what you already have. Even if it is small, you amplify your vibrational alignment with abundance. Gratitude turns your focus from lack to plenty, opening channels for more blessings to enter. Consistency is essential. The universe responds not to occasional wishes, but to sustained, deliberate thought and declaration. When you visualize and affirm daily, you establish a pattern of expectation, and the law of attraction responds. It is also important to combine inner work with inspired action. Visualization and affirmation prepare the mind and spirit to recognize opportunities and take steps when guidance appears. They prime your consciousness to act in alignment with the abundance already in motion. Shinn emphasized that this practice is not merely mental, it is spiritual. The unseen realm is ready to supply all your needs, but it waits for your conscious acknowledgement. By seeing, feeling, and declaring your prosperity as if it is already present, you remove resistance, dissolve fear, and allow the natural flow of good to manifest. This principle works universally, affecting finances, health, relationships, and personal fulfillment. Daily visualization and affirmations are therefore not optional. They are the instruments through which thought becomes form. They transform belief into reality, expectation into manifestation, and imagination into tangible results. By cultivating this practice, you steadily align yourself with the infinite intelligence of the universe, ensuring that the life you envision is drawn irresistibly toward you, proving that the inner picture you hold and the words you speak daily are the architects of your outer world, shaping every circumstance, every opportunity, and every blessing in perfect harmony with your highest good.